Oh, honey, before you get started, there's a letter that came in the mail for you. Put it on your desk.
Oh. So just so you know, you have 30 days for exchange or store credit only. We don't take returns. Would you like a peppermint mocha? You want whipped cream on that? Thanks so much. Happy holidays.
This isn't my size.
We're gonna start by base coating the light bulb with white paint. You're gonna wanna base coat both sides. If you don't wanna wait for one side to dry, you can hot glue a paper clip and hang it from a piece of string. It's still gonna take several coats to get it nice and opaque, so be patient. Now I got my reference photo ready. And we're gonna start by drawing a little rectangular square that sort of tapers upwards. The nose is gonna look like an upside down heart, and then the eye sockets are kind of two long rectangles. I kind of traced a light circle to let me know where the base of where the top of the skull is gonna be. The coffee break. And the little cheekbones are kind of like little ovals that are off center on the sides of the face, if that helps you visualize it. I try to find the shapes in everything that I'm painting, and that really helps guide me. Everything's always going to look awkward when you first start it. Now I'm starting to block in some of the shadows on the forehead, and I'm blending along the side of the skull. I'm taking white paint and blending it with some of the black paint that's still damp. You might feel like you're blocking it in too dark, but you're going to be able to build those layers back up with white paint afterwards. So right now we're just kind of trying to create a transition between the black and the gray. So all the areas that we've marked up, we're just blocking in some gray in between. And I'm keeping a big circle highlighted in the center of the top of the skull. And now I'm starting to bring some of that white paint back. I'm highlighting around the nose. And I'm just following a lot of these shapes that I've already laid out the groundwork for. Highlighting where the teeth and the jawbone are going to be. This area I particularly want to be nice and crisp and white. When I add in the black lines around the teeth, it's really going to pop. Outlining around the skull, but I'm still leaving little patches of the gray in between just to give it a sense of depth. Especially right in between the edge of the jawbone and the nose, you want to leave a little gray in there. It kind of tends to be concave on the skull there, so you get a little shadow. Now I'm dotting up where all of the teeth on his bottom jaw are going to be, and I'm adding these little straight lines along the side of the jawbone just to make it highlighted and pop out. Gray back into this, just creating a nice transition so nothing looks really sharp and abrupt. There's a nice blend from a black to a charcoal gray to a lighter gray into the white. And once you get that transition, then you can start to draw outlines with the black paint again. Outlining that little shape of the nose and making sure that I got all the ridges around the eyes. And you can add extra little lines underneath the eyes and little lines above the eyebrows that'll just really give it kind of a sense of feeling cracked or worn. And as I'm going to do the teeth. Above the teeth, there's going to be little lines right above where the teeth are going to go. And then drawing the teeth is like drawing the letter M and then just doing a little line in between each hump on the end. I'm also doing a few little lines along the jawbone that are just tracing and mimicking the shape of the jawbone. And I'm drawing little W's where the bottom teeth are going to be, and then just doing a line in between them, and adding a little line in between where I marked the line for the jawbone and where the mouth opening is. Now I'm painting the back of this. I'm just going to blend a lot of black and gray, and I'm going to do a big white circle in the middle of the back of the head. This part isn't really going to be seen very much unless your ornament is kind of twisting and moving around the tree, so this part, don't sweat about getting it totally perfect. Now that my paint is dried, I'm taking a piece of felt that I've cut into a long rectangle and just cut little slits on the sides, or on the very bottom pieces, to make a little scarf, and now I'm just gonna tie it. Now we're gonna attach a little piece of string. I bought this little candy cane stripes stuff. We're gonna put a dab of hot glue on the top of it, and then glue one piece down, twist it in a little circle, and we're gonna take the other piece and gently put it down, trying not to burn our fingers. But every time I touch the hot glue gun, I burn my fingers, so I've just kind of given up on it. Now we're gonna make little wings for him. I have some craft foam. You can also use felt if you like. It's a little bit more difficult to paint on the felt, so I prefer the foam for this. I'm laying it down and using my reference photo, and I'm drawing the little bat wing shape. And then the top point of the bat wing tends to touch all of the little points on the bottom of the bat wing. And that's going to help you with doing your line work. Now I'm cutting it out with a pair of craft scissors. And now I'm folding it over and tracing that. Now that that's cut out, we're gonna check the size. Looks perfect. Put down a nice daub of hot glue, and we're gonna press it to the back. And you might wanna hold it here for a second and let it dry just for a little bit. Now while the hot glue's drying, I'm gonna get a little white paint. I'm gonna trace these little curved lines going from the top notch on the wing down to all the bottom points. I'm also tracing the outer outline of the top half of the wing, but not the bottom. I'm repeating the same process with the other side. I'm tracing the top outline of the wing, and then I'm taking that top point and I'm tracing little lines all the way down. And that's our finished project. Thanks for crafting with me. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what kind of videos you want to see in the future.